This part I'll be using my little notes on my phone here. So I failed to bring a piece of paper. I'll try to be very brief. My name is OHA-KAWAIAHA'O. I'm from the island of Maui. Been a very emotional day. I flew in last night at the request of friends and conversations even with family, as this issue had surfaced in the last couple of days in conversations with my dad. And I always say this is it's actually a very simple issue, and I believe OHA can help us out on this issue. You know, my dad's simple explanation is, what's the matter with the church? Very common, man. It's a very common understanding in our people that excavation of our kupuna has to always be questioned. And I want OHA to really think about this. What is OHA's role in this excavation? I know it sounds like I'm not very clear exactly to fiduciary how it relates. But I believe without OHA's support and beneficiary trust money, these actions perhaps would not occur. 69 kupuna from that one area already have been disturbed. 69. But the story doesn't end there. Take a look at the reports. And they believe as much as 300, potentially 300 more burials may come up in this site. Now what does that mean to us historically today? Honokahua, 21, 22 years ago, rallied the families together, changed state law to gain more protections. 1,000 of our kupuna were dug up before we stopped that one. And that was foreign investors, in a sense, building their grand luxury hotel. Do you know, if the number 369 is used as an estimate, this will be the largest excavation of our kupuna since that time. In other words, it's not a golf course. It's not some foreign country, a company building a hotel somewhere. It's a Hawaiian church. And what is OHA's connection to this role? See, I think that's the big kulian OHA must ask themselves. What is the legacy placed on OHA in relation to the support in that endeavor? That the largest digging of our ancestors is coming from support from the Office of Hawaiian Affairs. It's interesting here, trust funds should be for the support of our people. And yet, we can clearly see our people are being targeted as victims with OHA money. I also believe there's a religious conflict going on at this point also. I'm sure OHA's intent from the very beginning was not to take on a particular religious view perhaps over others. And I'm sure that wasn't the case. But when you mix into what's been going on, what's been said lately, you cannot separate the construction of the multi-purpose building, the excavation of Kanaka Maoli, and the words from the leadership of Kawaiaha'o Church. It's very clear, as they had said, they dare to do, as the Kahu said, Christian purposes. even at the expense of digging up potentially 369 Kanaka. So what is OHA's role in all of this? Well, I don't think we actually know, it sounds like. It sounds like the intent was perhaps to support beneficiaries. But it also sounds like, without OHA's support, a lot of those other things, intangible things that are going on, perhaps would not help to fund what's going on right now. And so I'd at least ask that OHA at least have an audit to be clear that no trust money is being spent upon digging up our ancestors. I find it very horrifying to think that even one penny may have been spent in that way. And if the trustees or the administration is not aware, or are not really clear how the money has been spent, it is your fiduciary responsibility to find out and make sure it's not being spent in that way. I'm also very concerned on the future impact of this excavation. This is a moment in history, just like back in Honokahua, as Daniel Hall just spoke about, the reinterpretation, in a sense, of this law, which originally was sent to protect our people who lay in the ground. But if you look at the comments that come from, whether it's Judge Sakamoto or even the kahu at the church, any Christian burial within the confines of Kawaiaha'o may be removed for their purposes, of course. Think about that. All that grassy land on the Makai side is filled with kupuna. It quickly changed from a cemetery to a possible real estate deal. And that's how I see it. And I wonder what else is going on in other churches. We've already heard of other places, for example, Waikiki, where churches are looking at this case also because they also have Hawaiian burials there too. How will other churches and other developers look at the fact of so-called now Christian or modern Hawaiian burials? How will they be targeted and affected? And the last thing I just want to say for OHA, what is the legacy they're going to hold with this? We know what happened with Honokahua. OHA did step forward to put a good law together to make sure this would never happen again. And it did. So the big question to OHA, first of all, is what is this legacy? What exactly is the monetary amount, if any, which have gone towards this devious act? And it's pretty clear. And to me, it's pretty clear. Without OHA's financial support, much of this perhaps may not have happened. So 69 have been harmed. Are we going to allow 300 more to be harmed? That's the question I put to OHA. And where is OHA's hand in all of this? I come here with the hopes of saying that for a kupuna, it's about their integrity. And the question, of course, is what is our integrity in all of this? How will we be judged in a legacy 20 years from now, 40 years from now? What will OHA's legacy be in this particular question? Thank you.